Okay, now that we're capturing the onSubmit event, we actually want to pull out the data from the form submission. Now, I will say this part is a little more complicated than the other parts, and I won't fault you for skipping to the end or just copy and pasting this section, but I hate doing something without understanding it at least a little bit, so let's dive into it. So we're going to get the form data by utilizing this form data constructor, which we actually pass the email form element into. Let's go ahead and log that to show you what comes out. We get this form data object, and if I drop it down, I can see there's various methods. Now, the one we're interested in is this entries method. Let's go ahead and call that. Let's do another form submission. Okay, we get this iterator. It's a little confusing. Let's drop it down. You can see it has this next method. Out of curiosity, I'm just going to call it and see what happens. So we're getting entries and we're calling the next method, and then we're going to get the value that it returns. Let's see. Okay, this is kind of interesting. We're getting the first value from our form. We're getting the test from the name input. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And let's see what happens when we actually log it one more time. Will it be the same thing? It is not. So now we're getting the second value in our form, which is test@test.com from the email input value. Okay, so let's Google what this iterator thing is. If you go to the MDN docs and you look up formdata.entries, you'll see that it returns an iterator. If we click into that, we can see they are a protocol of sort. Let's take a look at this iterator protocol. So this iterator protocol is just a standard way to produce a sequence of values. It's just something that it's always done the same way so that JavaScript knows how to consume those values and put them into different forms. So we can do that and put it in an object form by calling object.fromEntries on this entries value. Then we can go ahead and log that to see what the data will look like. Okay, so now we're getting our data into an object or the form we want to have before we send it to another endpoint. Now, we can go ahead and clean this up a little bit and just put the entries call in here. And now we have our data. So, like I said, you probably don't need to understand all the intricacies of this. However, you do need to understand that this will get you to the final data that is in object form that we will eventually be sending to a third-party API or whatever endpoint that we choose.